Hey everybody! Ready for a wild ride? Have you ever heard something so bizarre, so absolutely mind-blowing that you immediately thought, there's no way that's true? Well, buckle up, because today I'm bringing you 10 strange facts that sound totally made up. But I swear on Elle Wood's law school notes, they're 100% real. From ghost towns hiding under lakes, in Georgia no less, to jellyfish that might just hold the secret to eternal youth, these facts will make you question everything you thought you knew about reality. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be the most interesting person at your next dinner party. Or at least the one with the weirdest stories, bless your heart. Okay, first up, let's talk about Paris. I mean, who doesn't love Paris? Croissants, romance, and the Eiffel Tower growing taller? You heard me right. The Eiffel Tower isn't just a static masterpiece of engineering, it's also got a little secret. During those hot Parisian summers, the iron structure expands thanks to this little thing called thermal expansion. Basically, the metal heats up and, well, it's gotta go somewhere, so it expands. This can cause the tower to grow by up to 6 inches. Can you even imagine? Now, before you think the Eiffel Tower is just going to keep growing forever, it shrinks back down in the winter. Thank goodness for small miracles. This whole phenomenon happens because metals, like the iron in our beloved tower, expand when they're heated and then contract when they cool down. So next time you're visiting Paris in the summer, you can impress your friends by saying, "We're climbing a slightly taller version of the Eiffel Tower." They'll be all like, "How do you know that?" And you can give them a little wink and say, "Brittany told me." Okay, y'all, get ready to have your minds blown. Let's talk about fruit. I love a good fruit salad as much as the next, but it turns out we've been lied to our whole lives. Because apparently, bananas are berries, but strawberries aren't. I know, it's madness. See, the rules of what makes a fruit a berry come from the science world, those botanists with their magnifying glasses. According to them, a berry is a fruit that develops from a single flower with one ovary and contains seeds embedded in the flesh. And guess what fits that description perfectly? You got it, bananas. They're like the rebels of the fruit bowl. Strawberries, on the other hand, well, they're considered aggregate fruits because their seeds are on the outside. Plus, they develop from multiple ovaries. And if that wasn't enough to digest, get this, other surprising berries include kiwis, avocados, and even pumpkins. While our beloved raspberries and blackberries are actually in the same category as strawberries, those aggregate fruits. Honestly, I don't know about you, but I feel personally betrayed by science. What's next? Tomatoes are fruits? Oh, wait. Okay, folks, buckle up because this next one is a doozy. Have you ever heard of a place where you can't die? No, seriously. I'm talking about Longyearbyen, a little town way up north in Norway. This place is so unique. They actually have a law that prohibits dying. The permafrost prevents bodies from decomposing, which means they're preserved indefinitely. And that's not a good thing when it comes to, public health. So if someone is terminally ill or near death, they're flown to the mainland. Longyearbyen is also known for its polar bears and the northern lights. Chapter 4, Octopuses, the real MVPs. All right, let's move on to something a little less morbid, shall we? Let's talk about octopuses. These happen to be my favorite animal as well. Now, I'm not talking about those cute little emoji octopuses. I'm talking about the real deal, those 8-armed wonders of the ocean. Octopuses are seriously the most extra creatures on this planet. First of all, they have 3 hearts. 3 hearts, y'all. And those hearts work overtime. 2 of them pump blood to their gills for oxygen exchange, and the third one pumps oxygenated blood to the rest of their body. Talk about efficiency. But here's the kicker. When they swim, that third heart temporarily stops beating. Can you imagine? It's like they're so committed to moving those 8 arms that they're like, "Heart, you can take a break for a sec." And if that wasn't wild enough, their blood is blue. Their blood actually contains copper instead of iron, which is what gives it that blue hue. Honestly, with 3 hearts, 8 arms, and the ability to camouflage themselves, octopuses are basically superheroes, or supervillains, depending on how you feel about them. Either way, I'm kinda jealous. Chapter 5, Underwater Ghost Town. Ready for a spooky story? This one takes place in the US, Lake Lanier, Georgia. A beautiful lake with a dark secret. Before the lake, there were towns, cemeteries, and farmlands. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers flooded the area. Not everything was moved. Divers report eerie sights, submerged buildings, grave markers. It's like a town frozen in time. Lake Lanier is said to be cursed. Many boating accidents and drownings have occurred. Some believe it's haunted by displaced spirits. A lake with ghostly vibes, perfect for a horror movie or a creepy vacation. Chapter 6. Sharks. Older than trees? Okay, let's delve back into the animal kingdom for a minute, shall we? This time, we're talking about sharks. Those magnificent, misunderstood creatures that have been swimming in our oceans since, well, forever. You see, sharks have been around for over 400 million years. Let that sink in for a minute. 400 million years. That means they were here before the dinosaurs, before the continents as we know them even existed. And get this, before trees. Can you believe it? Sharks are older than trees. Fossil evidence shows that some ancient sharks looked even scarier than the ones we know today. Meanwhile, the first trees didn't show up until about 350 million years ago. Sharks are the ultimate survivors. They've lived through all 5 major mass extinction events, including the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. If sharks could talk, they'd probably say, "We've seen it all, honey. You're not that impressive." Okay, let's talk about something truly mind-blowing. Have you ever wished you could turn back time, relive your youth? Well, there's a creature in the ocean that does just that, the Turritopsis dohrnii jellyfish, also known as the immortal jellyfish. I know, right? It sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but it's 100% real. This tiny little jellyfish has figured out a way to cheat death. See, when it reaches adulthood, it can revert back to its juvenile form. This process, called transdifferentiation, allows the jellyfish to start its life cycle all over again, potentially avoiding death entirely. Scientists are studying these jellyfish like crazy, trying to understand how they regenerate their cells. And while we're a long way from figuring out how to make humans immortal, this research might hold some clues about aging and cell repair. All right, let's take a trip to our celestial neighbor, Venus. Now, Venus is a planet of extremes. It's got a super thick atmosphere, it's incredibly hot, hotter than Mercury, even though it's farther from the sun. And it has a day that's longer than its year. Yep, you heard that right. A day on Venus lasts a whopping 243 Earth days, that's almost 8 months. Meanwhile, it only takes Venus 225 Earth days to orbit the sun. So technically, a year on Venus is shorter than a day on Venus. Talk about confusing. This next fact is a little bit gross, but also kind of cool. Let's talk about your stomach. Now, your stomach is a powerful organ. It has to be to digest all the food we eat. In fact, your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, which is strong enough to dissolve metal. Metal, y'all. Now, you might be thinking, if my stomach can dissolve metal, why doesn't it dissolve itself? That's a great question, and the answer is pretty amazing. Your stomach has a secret weapon. It regenerates its lining every 3 to 5 days. This constant renewal is what protects it from being digested by its own acid. So, next time you eat something, take a moment to appreciate your stomach's incredible ability to digest food and protect itself at the same time. All right, everyone, get ready to have your minds blown one last time. For our final mind-blowing fact, let's take a look at the universe. Now, we all know the universe is vast, right? But did you know there are more stars in the universe than grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth? That's right, you heard me correctly. Scientists estimate there are about 1 septillion stars in the observable universe. Now, I don't know about you, but I have no idea how big a septillion is. So, let's put it into perspective. The estimated number of grains of sand on all the beaches on Earth is about 7 quintillion. That means there are about 1 million times more stars in the observable universe than grains of sand on Earth. Next time you're at the beach, pick up a handful of sand and try to imagine each grain being just a tiny fraction of what's out there in the vastness of space. And there you have it, 10 mind-blowing facts that prove truth is stranger than fiction. Which one surprised you the most? I mean, the immortal jellyfish? The town where you can't die? Or maybe those rule-breaking bananas? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you learned something new today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive into the curious and bizarre with yours truly. Until next time, stay curious, my friends. My